Hi, I'm Veronica Wasek with 5 Minute Bookkeeping, and today I am talking to online sellers and talking to you about how you find an accountant who specializes in Amazon and Shopify. One of the biggest complaints that I hear from people that I talk to who are selling online is that they can't find a bookkeeper or accountant who understands e-commerce, or maybe they don't understand Amazon or Shopify. So I'm going to give you a list of some tips and things that you should consider and specific questions that you should be asking when you're interviewing accountants or bookkeepers. So let's go ahead and get started. The first thing that you want to ask about is their e-commerce knowledge or experience. I can tell you, at least for my experience and with my own accounting firm, since we have changed our focus to working with e-commerce sellers, we have had to do a lot of learning, a lot of training, finding resources that help us to understand how to do the accounting, how to understand how Amazon works, how Shopify works. We've done a lot of testing. So for firms like mine that are now specialized in e-commerce, there's a big learning curve. You do want to ask if they have experience with Shopify, with Amazon, with Etsy, or what other sales channel that you're selling on. And then ask them, what are some of the challenges that your clients are experiencing in using these different sales channels? The challenges that you normally have is that you have a lot of transactions going on in a particular sales channel, and what you normally see coming over into QuickBooks and coming over from the bank feed is actually the net amounts from the payment processors. And so there's really no correlation between what's actually happening in your sales channel, whether it's sales, refunds, sales taxes collected, and gift cards, anything else that goes on. There's no correlation between that and what we're actually seeing deposited into QuickBooks. So all of those numbers have to be broken up and then recorded so that you can actually see your gross sales, refunds, and other components of sales, and then those amounts have to be reconciled to the amounts that are being received from PayPal, from Shopify payments, Amazon payments, etc. Next is inventory. Inventory can get quite tricky, especially if you're selling on multiple channels. So you do want to then ask that accountant, what do you know about tracking inventory in QuickBooks? What's your opinion about tracking inventory in QuickBooks? Should I be tracking my e-commerce inventory in QuickBooks, and especially QuickBooks Online? Generally, at least what I recommend is that you shouldn't be tracking inventory at a detailed level in QuickBooks Online, and that you're better off using initially spreadsheets and then moving toward using an online inventory app to manage all of your inventory, and especially if you're selling on multiple channels. Next, profitability. Ask the accountant, how are they going to structure your financials so you can get a clear view of your profits, especially profits by channel? A good accountant would understand that, and they would likely be using classes to then track income and expenses by channel. Another thing that you might ask is, how are you going to track my marketing spend? And can you track that by channel? Next, cash flow. Ask the accountant, then what do they recommend for helping you improve your cash flow? And generally, we look at how much money is tied up in inventory, and then how much money you have set aside to purchase additional inventory. Next, sales taxes. Sales taxes can be very complicated for e-commerce sellers. And it depends on if you're selling on Amazon or Shopify. If you're selling on Amazon and if you're an FBA seller, then you might have to deal with marketplace facilitator states. If you're selling on Shopify, or if you're selling through your website, then you'd really need to look to see if you have some exposure when it comes to sales taxes. Next, understand what services they're actually going to provide to you, what that includes, and make sure that they provide you a written service agreement or an engagement letter. Ask about their pricing. Do they give you upfront pricing, or do they charge by the hour? With upfront pricing, you have that peace of mind knowing that exactly how much the services are going to cost. If they're charging by the hour, then you're running some risk, and you really wouldn't want them to do all this work to find out that they're charging you way more than you thought that they would. And while we're talking about pricing, I would highly encourage you to avoid comparing just what accountant A is charging you versus accountant B is charging you. What you should be comparing is what services are they going to provide to you. And perhaps accountant A charges more, but they give you more value and they do more for you. So be clear on what they're providing to you and make sure that you understand what that is. And if they seem too cheap, well, you get what you pay for, so beware. So remember, ask questions, ask open-ended questions. Don't just rely on the fact that you like their personality and that they're nice people. Make sure that you go through these questions with them. I hope that this helps you to find an e-commerce accountant who understands Amazon and Shopify. If you're looking for an e-commerce accountant, my firm, Wasek, specializes in e-commerce for creatives and makers. So check the description box below to see how you can contact me. If this content is helping you, make sure that you comment, like, share, and subscribe to my channel so you can get all of my latest videos. And if there's any content that I haven't covered yet, make sure that you leave a comment and let me know what that is. That's what I'm here for, to help you guys. I'm Veronica Wasek with 5 Minute Bookkeeping.